Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today is another story time. So before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give her a thumbs up and comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at LifeWithSymone. And also follow my business page, Vivalayoshii, because we'll be dropping June 9th. Also, I forgot, I think it was something else I was supposed to say. Oh yeah, stay tuned y'all, because the brunch is going to be June 10th and I will be vlogging it all. But anyway, let's get straight into this video. So y'all, this video is about Enemy. Y'all, I have not told a story about Enemigo in a long time. So I was like, let me go ahead and tell y'all a story. And it just, anyway, so yeah, let's get into the story. So y'all, back, y'all already know, if you're new here, hey, but if you don't know, Enemy was on the drugs. So yeah, when I had found out, like, I don't know why I wanted to be his savior. Like, I thought I was gonna be like Peter Popoff with the miracle spring water and come through and just change his life. Like, I really just thought like a little bit of sprinkle of me was gonna come and he was gonna be like, I don't want drugs no more, I want to be free. Like, I don't know why I thought this. So I used to try to literally do any and everything to try to get him off of it. But of course, I mean, when you love somebody, you gonna want to help them fight their addiction. But yeah, so I used to like pay attention to everything, like when we have our deep conversations and stuff like that, and I'll try to think like, okay, he said this made him happy as a child, like maybe I could try to find, like, let's do this, like, you know, I just try to get him away from the drugs. Anyway, but yeah, so I remember when he had told me one time that he used to go fishing and go on camping trips and stuff like that, fishing trips when he was younger with his family, his dad, his uncles and stuff. So he was like that used to make him so happy, and he used to always talk about it. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I remember I told him like my cousins fish and all that other stuff like that. So I ended up hitting them up and I was like, hey, when are y'all going? Mind y'all, we didn't have this conversation like right then and there. This conversation happened like a long time ago. But when I'm trying to think about things to get him off of it, I remember the fishing thing. So I hit up my cousins and I'm like, hey, when are y'all going fishing again? So they're like, oh, we actually going this Saturday. We're going to Big Bear. If you want to come, like, we're gonna have a picnic and stuff and like food, all that other stuff. Like, we're gonna go fishing. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, perfect. I do want to come. That's gonna be cool. Like, I want to go. Can I bring my boyfriend? So they like, yeah, bring whoever. Like, we don't care. So they like, we're gonna see you in a little bit because we about to come to grandma's house. That's why I live in my grandma's house. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna see y'all in a minute. Bye. So they end up coming over, y'all. When they came over, I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't told him about it yet, but I know he's gonna be so excited, like, to go fishing, all this other stuff. So I'm asking him, like, dude, y'all got extra fishing poles? Because I don't think he got no fishing pole, because I ain't seen him with no fishing pole. And just because, I know y'all probably thinking, like, why would he just walk around with a fishing pole? But y'all know, when people on drugs, they be trying to sell anything. He was not, let me stop, because he was not that far gone. So I was just like, my cousin like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, because y'all, he's on drugs and I really want to get him off. I don't know why. This was my first time dealing with somebody that was on drugs, so I really was telling everybody in my family, which I shouldn't, because they talk about me. So I'm like, yeah, like, I really want to help him. I want to help him get sober and all this other stuff. So my cousin, she just laughing, like, she just started laughing. So I'm laughing too, because I'm just like, yeah, like, you know, when we talk, I'm just start laughing too. Then when I start laughing, she started like hysterically laughing, like she's laughing hard as hell. So I'm like, wait, why are we laughing? Because at this point, I don't understand, like, what's so funny? So she like, no, so you're saying that he's on drugs, but going fishing would make him shake his addiction. Like, going fishing is gonna make him sober. And I was like, yeah. And she started dying laughing. Everybody just laughing. They just laughing. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay, you got that. But I'm laughing too, because I'm just like, you know what, now when somebody else say it, it kind of sound funny, because it's like, that's like me saying, he said he loved hot Cheetos, I'm gonna buy him some, he gonna stop doing crime, because now he got, like, you know, I don't know, I just thought it would help. But anyway, so I was like, whatever, y'all. So I ended up pulling up on him, and when I pulled up on him, I was telling him, like, I got a surprise for you, like, what you doing this weekend? So he like, I'm not doing nothing, I don't got no plans, because he wasn't the type to go to like parties and stuff like that. Like, he would go to, like, if it's like a kickback type thing, but he wouldn't be like in the clubs or nothing like that. So I'm like, what you doing this weekend? So he like, nothing. So I'm like, you want to go fishing? So he like, what? Like, we do gotta go fishing one day. So I'm like, nah, like, my cousins and them is going fishing. They having a picnic, whole little full throttle thing going on. And I'm like, and they said, like, they invited us, like, if we want to go. So he like, for real, y'all, he got so excited. It was like the little boy came up out of him. Enemy was happy as hell, y'all. Like, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I did brownie points. You know, when you do something for your man and you do something thoughtful, you thinking like, yeah, you other bitches could never. But it really didn't matter to him. So anyway, he over there happy. He like, oh my God, like, I haven't did this in so long. He's just like super excited. He's like, oh my God, like, we gonna have so much fun. Like, he was super happy. So I'm just like, yeah, like, you know, like, I'm excited to take him or whatever. So he like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a fish pole, I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna do that. So I'm like, my cousin said he already got a fish pole. He like, nah, I had this special fishing pole when I was younger. I'm gonna have to call my auntie and see if it's at her house, Like, he's just super excited. I'm like, all right, whatever, like, cool, we going Saturday. So y'all, so Friday come, Friday night, well, not Friday night, it's Friday in the daytime it comes or whatever. And he's like, can you take me to the shop so he could get some bait? So I'm like, oh, well, my cousins and them, they gonna have some, or I think it should be some when we get to Big Bear or whatever. So he like, nah, I know this special bait shop. So y'all, he got me driving around the city to this shop that he doesn't even remember where the location was. Then finally he calls his auntie. He's like, hey, auntie, remember that bait shop that uncle used to take us like to da-da-da-da-da? Like, where's that at? And she like, oh boy, that closed down like years ago. And she's like, and it's not even in this city. Because why would they be selling bait in the middle of LA? Near no water. I mean, we have water, but he was like, actually had me in the hood. So I'm just like, so I'm like, dang, we could have called her a long time ago. So he like, nah, it's cool, we gonna figure it out, So y'all, when I tell y'all, he was doing the most. We ended up going to his auntie house. He pulling out outfits. He's like, oh, I got my Tims. Yeah, these Tims just in case I need to like walk in the water, so I don't mind getting these messed up. They black anyway. And I'm just like, boy, where the hell do you think we fishing in the swamps, and where, like, we literally going to Big Bear? Why would you need to walk in the water? You're gonna be standing like on the dock thing. But anyway, he was just doing the most. He had his outfit laid out, y'all. You couldn't tell him nothing. I was just like, okay, whatever. So he was like, yeah, he gonna come spend the night at my house. So I'm like, actually, I'll come pick you up later, because my sister was coming into town because it was her daughter's birthday, and her baby daddy, they was doing a family trip to Disneyland. So I'm like, I gotta go pick up my sister from the bus station, and then I'm gonna take them to their room, and then I'll come get you later, because, you know, like, I didn't want to take him with me. I just didn't want to. So he's like, oh, like, y'all, he made it a big thing. Like, he really we got into it because he's thinking, let me lean back because let me get comfortable. We got into it because he making it seem like, so he made it a big thing. This boy's over here talking about oh, they must bring an extra ninja for you, da 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 da. For one, they're going on a family trip to Disneyland, just the three of them, the mama, the daddy, the baby. Why would they bring an extra man for me just to see me in the hotel room? And he's still gonna be just third wheeling with them at this, well, fourth wheeling. So you mean to tell me? So he was really mad, like he really just believed that because I didn't want to take him with me. So he like, why you can't just take me with you? Because I'm like, because I'll just come get you later. Like, you know, I just want to spend time with my sister and stuff like that. Like, he was really hot. So we had got into it, but that really didn't stop me. I still had to go do what I had to do. So I'm picking him up, y'all. Take them to their room in Anaheim, and me and him is getting into it, so I could care less at this point. Like, I didn't care about going back home. My sister's like, y'all, like, they was telling me, like, you could stay the night if you want to at our room. You don't gotta go back home. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm about to stay the night. So I ended up staying the night over there, y'all, and me and her, we taking the most stupidest pictures. I don't know why. If I could find a picture, I'll insert it, but we just taking pictures all night and post them on Instagram, y'all. So he is really, like, going in, because if I could find a picture and I post it, y'all see we both had a thing in our mouth. Y'all, let me not say a thing, because what if I can't find that picture and then it sounds crazy as hell? So, you know, like a joint we both had in our mouth on one end. I don't know why we took this picture. Like, we was just taking some stupid pictures. Like, I don't know, I don't remember if we was drinking or not. We was taking a lot of pictures. Like, it was even pictures we was taking. Never mind, I ain't even gonna say that. But y'all, we was just taking some stupid pictures. So he's like, oh, ain't no way her baby is there and y'all taking pictures like that, da 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 da. Mind you, her daughter was asleep, like, in how the room, like, she was nowhere right there, and it's not like nobody was smoking around her at all. It was just like we just was taking pictures. So she was asleep, she was nowhere right there. So he just like getting into it, and it's like the nerve of you to try to say anything what people doing around kids. But anyway, yeah, so he over there mad, like he mad we get into it. So I wasn't really saying nothing to him. I understand the night, whatever. So the next morning I got up super early because I was gonna drop them off at Disneyland, and then I was gonna go back home. So I told him, like, and y'all, they was offering to pay for me to go to Disneyland and all that. Instead of trying to help a ninja, I should have went. But anyway, I'm calling him early in the morning, and I'm like, hey, you still trying to go or what? Because I'm about to go home and get in the shower, and I'm already ready, and I just got to go pick up my homegirl, and we gonna pick you up or whatever like that. So his homie was supposed to come too. So why this boy gonna tell me, okay, well, when you gonna pick up, let's just call his homeboy Bo. He gonna say, so he like, when you gonna pick Bo up? So I'm like, I'm gonna pick him up on the way when we leaving. Like, so I'm like, my homegirl's close by you. I mean, my homegirl's close by me. You the opposite way. And I'm like, and Bo is on the way towards Big Bear or whatever. Like, not on the way, but like he was on the east side. So it's like we have to go that way anyway. Like, I could just go off the freeway, even though he wasn't by the freeway, so it's still inconvenience, but whatever. So I'm like, I could just pick him up last. So he like, well, if you coming from Anaheim, you could stop by that way and you could just pick him up, which honestly I didn't have to go that way. But anyway, he like, yeah, you could just pick him up now. So I'm like, I still have to go home and take a shower. So he's like, yeah, but it's cool, because then I googled the fastest way to get there, and I really want to fish early. Like, I want to get there early. And I'm like, me too, that's why I'm leaving this early. So he's like, yeah, I want to get there early, and this is the fastest freeway. So honestly, if we was to take this freeway and go get him afterwards, then it would take us out the way, and then it'd be traffic. So he kind of like convinced me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, let Bo know that I'm on the way now, and let him to be ready, and that he got to come with me to my house, and I still got to take a shower and stuff. So he like, all right, yeah, he just gonna stay in the car anyway. So I ended up going to go pick up his friend. We in the car. His friend was like, yeah, Symone, like, you don't understand how happy Enemy is, like, for you to be doing this. He been talking about this fishing trip all week. Like, I like to see this side. We really used to do this when we was kids. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, I could really see him marrying you. My bro really love you. You know how they love to say my bro really love you, and the whole time it be like, they be recording their bro for 10 girls on the fucking balcony, and it be like, yeah, bro, I love this for you. And it be like, what about me? What about him loving me? But anyway, so yeah, so he like, yeah, my bro really love you. He just talking all this stuff. And back then, I used to really let that shit get to me. I used to be happy as hell, like, if the friend's saying it, I'm in, like, So I'm like, yeah, I just want him to get off drugs. Y'all, and I be putting his business straight. But his friend knew it was up. Like, this friend was not on that shit. But he knew it was up. So he like, yeah, no, like, I really love what you're doing for him. Any of these other females, they just be sitting around and watching him get high and all this other stuff. Like, you actually care about him and da-da-da. I love him for you. I mean, I love you for him. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, me too. Like, I love this. Like, you know, we're going to get him right. He going to be doing good. Da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, so yeah, I ended up going to my house. I got ready. Both stayed in the car. But my grandma ended up going outside and telling him to come to the house and eat some breakfast. So he ended up coming in the house and he was eating some breakfast in the living room. But yeah, so we left. I picked up my homegirl. Now we on the way to go get Enemy. So I tell him, like, we on the way. So he like, dang, that was fast. Bro, how long is it taking you to get ready? Because I left from Anaheim, picked your friend up, went home, took a shower, picked up my homegirl, and then now we come to you. You live well on the other side of town. So y'all, while we pulled up to his house, he had us wait like 5 minutes before he came outside. I was so irritated because I'm just like, nigga, it's just a fishing trip. This boy comes outside with a whole fishing fit on. Well, not a fishing fit, but he had on some cargo pants, some Timbs on, a bucket hat, and I'm surprised that it was no bait hanging from the bucket hat. You know when people had a little hooks hanging? I'm surprised his bucket hat didn't have that on there. Y'all, he trying to have chains on, looking just fly, but looking like he finna fish. He was giving like New York 50 Cent with the wife beater on with the little sweatband. I don't know. Even though he wasn't dressed like that, it just was giving weird because them cargos was kind of too big, and them Timbs was a little suspect because I really don't think them was his size neither. But I know they was his, but they probably was the last ones and he really want them, or maybe he outgrew them. I don't know, but they look too small. But anyway, so he come outside. He just like, yeah, flick me up. Y'all gotta take me some pictures. Y'all gotta take me some pictures. Y'all, that was one thing about him. I swear, with dating him, it used to be like we both gotta take pictures. Even though it's like, I want to take my pictures, but damn. So yeah, he like, y'all gotta take me some pictures. So now I'm outside, I'm taking him some pictures. He like, no, my boy gotta take them because he take them better. Come on. So his friend takes the pictures. He's looking at him. No, okay, let's see if your homegirl can take them because I'm not feeling these pictures. She take the pictures. All right, Symone, try to take the pictures again. Boy, if you don't get in this motherfucking car, somebody know you can take some pictures at the fucking place when we get there. He like, you know what, that'd be better because I could take a picture with a fishing pole in my hand. And then, yeah, okay, hold on. Let me get the lean. In the picture. I just want to take one picture right here. So, like, you know, I'm smoking, drinking lean, and then I'm about to be fishing. Then I'll take a picture with a fish, you know, because I'm going to catch the biggest fish. I'm like, bro, oh, get the fuck in this motherfucking car. You in all these damn pictures. So, anyway, he get in the car, and I'm like, all right, let me put it on my GPS and start heading there. I'm like, which freeway did you say? So he like, oh, you should get on, I forgot what freeway. He said some freeway that made no fucking sense. So I'm like, why would I get on that one when I could get on that one? So he like, oh, because I really wanted you to stop me by the homie house real quick so I could get some weed. So I'm like, well, all this time that it took me to get here, and you had yesterday when I had left you, you couldn't ask me yesterday, like, you couldn't go get some before. So he like, nah, but it's cool. He just up the street. He told me he up the street. So I'm like, all right, where he at? So he told me where he was at. I'm not gonna give the specifics because y'all, I'm just not. So he told me where he was at, and when he told me like where the location was, I kind of got like, y'all, because it took me a minute to start putting two and two together. But at this place, he was not buying, you know, something to puff on. He was buying something to sniff on. And it took me a minute till I realized that. And only how I realized that is because I remember it would be like, he'll have me take him there, and then he'll be like, he'll get something, and then he'll be like, oh, can you take me over here real quick? And I'll be like, you know, like, you just came from over there. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. And finally, I started realizing, too, one day we pulled up, the shit got raided, and Enemy ran out. But that's a whole different story time. But, yeah. So, it took me a minute. And then, anyway, I'm not even going to get into details, because I was about to say too much. I was about to say, and they tacos was good. Anyway, so he had me pull up over there, and we pull up, and we put up, like, at first, this is what made me start kind of trying to think, like, what's up with this place? Because he was like, when he said the location, Bo was like, man, bro, are you serious? Like, you for real? Mind you, Bo and Enemy was in the back seat and my homegirl, me, was in the front seat. I was driving. So he like, man, are you for real? Because they was gonna smoke anyway, but my homegirl smoked too. But yeah, anyway. So he's like, man, bro, you for real? Like, man, you serious right now? So he like, yeah, bro, I need some, you know, I need some trees. Like, I need some trees. So he like, man, bro, I got some on me. I got some on me. He like, man, Symone. And I'm like, yeah, he got some. He got some. He's like, Symone, you already know, like, I smoke a lot. So just go. Like, listen, like, why are you listening to him anyway? So I'm just irritated. I'm like, whatever. He like, yeah, it's not going to take long. So I ended up pulling up over there. And when I pulled up, he like, Bo, get out the car with me. And Bo's like, I don't want to get out the car, nigga. Like, that's on you. I don't even, man, you go do that shit by yourself. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, what is he mad about? So I'm like, you don't like this this person that's still up in here? I don't even know what this person looked like, y'all, but I'm like, you don't like this person? He was all like, man, Symone, no, I'm just saying, like, I hope this trip really helped this nigga. So I'm like, he must not like this over here. Like, this must not be it. But anyway, so he ended up going up in there. He come back in the car, and he happy. Like, he got a lot of energy up in, now that he up in the car. Maybe because he probably went up in there and put his nose in something and shook it around, like, I don't know, like a dog. But anyway, so he come back, he got a lot of energy. So we start driving to go towards Big Bear, y'all. Longest drive ever. I was so irritated because they like, oh, do you want us to help you drive? And I'm like, no, because I don't like letting people drive my car. Like, only time people drive my car is like, I really just don't like letting people drive my car. Like, I don't know, because you be driving a passenger seat for them. When they in their car, it be like, whatever, drive how you want to, this your shit. But in mine, you better do 25. So yeah, we driving, we finally get there, y'all. Oh my God. Well, we not finally get there. On the way up the mountain, and which was annoying too, because we had to stop so many times, and not because of me. Y'all, Enemy like, I'm hungry. And we like, boy, they gonna have food up there. Man, could we just stop at Raising Cane's? This was before Raising Cane's was like all over the place now. So it was like, they would be kind of out the way. I don't think they had none like in the LA area like that at this point. So I was just irritated as hell. Like, we just kept having to stop. So finally, we go to going up the mountain. I'm driving slow as hell, and I'm irritated because they hotbox in the car. And only reason why I was kind of slow, but I'm like, I don't want y'all to roll the windows down because I don't want the smoke to go out and then the police pull us over, which is dumb, because what if the police pull us over for my tent or something like that, and then they just open the door to a cloud of smoke? I was not thinking, but there was hotbox. I'm getting contact high. I'm driving like this, driving slow. I'm doing like 15 up that mountain, because that mountain is scary as hell. People driving, honking the horn, speeding around me. I'm pulling off to the turnoff spots to let them go. It was just scary, y'all. I was so scared. So when we finally pulled up, mind y'all, before we pulled up to the spot, I was telling them like, air the car out, because I'm like, even though it's like my family and I don't care, and they already know that I'm dating an addict, like, I just was like, I don't want to pull up just smell like big trees and stuff like that. So I'm like, air the car out, like, roll the windows down. Enemy like, no, like, I got this, how I like to get high. So y'all, then he tell me like, can I turn the music up, because he want to make a video. Y'all, I'm not thinking nothing of this. So I'm like, all right. He like, turn the music up real loud, like, turn it up real loud. So I turn the music up loud, y'all, real loud, because he want me to turn it up loud. He want to keep the windows up. Weird, right? So we driving, we finally get to the spot, but I noticed my homegirl, she like looked. And when she like, because mind you, Enemy is sitting behind my seat and his homie is sitting behind her seat. So she looked and like, she like double take. Like when she looked, she did like a double, like the fuck. So I peeped it, but I was like, I'm not about to ask her what did she see until like we get out this car. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we end up pulling up, and y'all open the door. It's just clouds come out the car. So they like, dang, like y'all was really like just, I'm surprised y'all made it up this mountain as fast as y'all did, even though it was not as fast as we did, because we took forever, y'all. By the time we got there, it was cold as hell. They had already been out there for hours, and it was like they was about to leave in like a little bit. So it was already just annoying, because it's like Enemy made us waste so much time. So we ended up getting out the car, and I'm like talking to my aunties and stuff like that, and I introduced him to them, and I walked Enemy over there to my cousins and everybody else, you know, before he started fishing and stuff. So I walked them over there, and I'm like, hey, this is Enemy. And they like, oh, nice to meet you, whatever. I'm like, yeah. So I'm just standing around because, you know, I didn't want to just introduce him and then walk off, because I'm like, I don't know, like, let me just stand here for a little bit, make small talk and stuff like that, and just chill. So me and my homegirl, we chilling, we talking right there. Enemy, he like getting it good with them. He talking or whatever. So they like, oh, here's a fishing pole or whatever. So it was this one guy that was with them, y'all. I don't know. This is like my cousin. I don't know if this was her boyfriend. I don't know who this was, but he was weird as fuck. Fuck. Yes, this nigga was so weird. So we standing there, and he was like, oh, okay, who are these, like, who like us, like, how do y'all know each other? So they like, oh, that's our cousin, like, that's Mo, that's our cousin. So he's like, oh, Mo, okay, Mo. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know why I'd be like awkwardly laughing. Like if something's like awkward, I'll just laugh. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. So he like, okay. So they just talking, chopping it up. So then he was like, yeah, like she drove so, and then, oh, I was gonna say his name. So Enemy was like, yeah, she drove so slow, like that's why it took us so long to get up here. So I'm like, not with all the stops you had us make. So he like, oh, come on now, she was scared to drive up that mountain. I was telling her let me do it, and I'm just thinking like, boy, you don't even have a car. But anyway, so they laughing. So then the boy gonna say, Mo was driving slow? Mo, you was driving slow? Okay, Mo. And I'm just like, the fuck? He acting like he know me. Like I just be out here speed racing with Dom and them. Like, you don't know me to be saying I'm driving slow. So he like, Mo was driving slow. It would be so awkward, I swear, when he'll say stuff. At first it was like everybody would be like kind of laugh. Then it started getting awkward. Like he would just kept saying weird shit. So then me and my homegirls just walked away. I walked away and I went over there to my auntie and stuff, and I'm just talking to them. We eating. It's cold as hell. So they putting the kids in the car like, yeah, we about to leave in a little bit because it's too cold. So they in the car just chilling. So I'm like, all right, let's go back over there with them. We go back over there. I'm walking up to the little dock part and I'm hearing the conversation sound a little weird. So yeah, I'm hearing Enemy. He like, yeah, like no, cause they got that pure. They got it pure, and I be, you know, cause I only fuck with certain shit. I don't really fuck with everything. Only if it's like, if it's good, if it's pure, I'ma fuck with it. And I'm just like, what the fuck this nigga talking about? Cause mind y'all, he out there fishing. He got his tree and he got a cup of lean. So he like, yeah, and it's crazy, y'all, because you know how lean put people to sleep. Like I said, then I put that man to sleep because he'll be off lean, off Coca-Cola, off of tree. It be so much stuff at once. So, and he'll just be up, and I used to be so mad because we'd be like, damn, okay, when he knock out, we gonna ditch him and we gonna go leave and we gonna do this. Or I used to tell them stuff and I'd be like, this nigga ain't going to sleep. He not going to sleep. He gonna be up. But anyway, yeah. So I'm thinking like, what is he talking about? Purists and all this other stuff and all this other stuff. And he's like, yeah, because you know you gotta have some money to fuck with that shit. This ain't like, y'all, this ain't no cheap shit. I'm thinking like, what is going on? So I walk up and I was just like, what y'all talk about? You know, like, what y'all talking about? So he was like, oh no, I was telling them like, you know how the homie be having Coca-Cola, and it gotta be, you know, I only with certain kind, because you know, like I don't do that shit all the time, but you know, I only with a certain kind. So I'm like, even though I told them, you know, that he was going through some things, I didn't understand why he didn't know that I told them that. So it's like, why are you sitting here telling them this? So I'm embarrassed because I'm just like, this gonna embarrass me every chance he get, man. You just, why? You know, like he just, when I stopped talking, but like his homie was kind of like irritated with the conversation. You could tell he was just like, man, like nigga, you just love this shit so much. Like you, damn, thought you wanted to fish. So anyway, they just talking. So when we come back over there, so the boy was like, Mo. And I'm just like still talking to Enemy. I'm acting like I didn't hear him. And he like, Mo, do you like the purists? Do you like the purists, Mo? And I'm just like, no. So then I was just like, dang. So I'm like, Enemy, you having a good time? Like, you having a good time fishing? Did you catch something? So he like, yeah, I caught something, but your cousin, like, he beating me. He's like, I like your family. Like, I like them. Like, it's cool. Like, it's cool. We got to do this again. So then why the other boy, he was like, I like me some Mo. Y'all, when I say it was awkward as hell, it was like, and my cousin was like, nigga, that's my cousin. Y'all, he was like, my cousin was like, what? And he was just like, no, like, I like y'all family. Like, y'all cool. Everybody cool too. Like, what he said. Like, what he said. I swear that shit was so awkward. So now I'm like, Enemy, let's take a picture. Like, I'm like, let's take a picture together. So we taking a picture. I'm like taking a picture, kissing him and stuff like that, because I'm just like, I don't know what's up with bro or who this is, but he's fucking weird. Like, I really didn't know what was up with him. He just kept on. The whole time we was on that dock, he just, Mo, can I ask you something, Mo? And it just be annoying because y'all, like, my family always call me Mo. Or like Moni and stuff like that, but I used to hate it. I did not like people to call me that besides them. So now I don't care. But like, so I was getting so irritated. I'm just like, this nigga don't stop calling me Mo, and he just kept on Mo. He like, you want me to take your picture, Mo? Look, I'm catching a fish, Mo. You want to see the fish I caught? Look, I'm finna put this worm on the bait, Mo. Like, I'm just like, this nigga don't shut the fuck up. Like, he was so annoying, y'all. Irritating. So anyway, it started getting dark. Everybody was like, they about to leave. So we like packing it up. Enemy caught 2 fish. This nigga thought he was putting them in my car. I'm like, you're not putting those fish in my car. He like, why I'm not putting the fish in your car? What'd you thought I was gonna do with my fish I caught? I'm like, I don't know. The fuck? Y'all, I really didn't know. So he took a picture with the fish or whatever. And mind you, these fish wasn't even like no fish for him to be trying to do the most. He took a picture with the fish and he ended up posting it on Instagram or whatever. Like, he posted the picture on Instagram. It was like da 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 da. It was a whole bunch of hoes like, oh my god, I'm happy you're doing something that reminds you of your childhood. And I'm commenting under there like, yeah, I'm the one who took him. Y'all, I used to be thirsty as hell, like, because mind you, he posting it while they still there talking and chopping it up. So anyway, we ended up leaving, and y'all, it was getting late, but Enemy was like that he want to go link with his homeboy, like his other homeboy. So I'm like, you down, Max? My homegirl, she was like, I'm gonna call it a night, like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go home. So his homeboy Bo was like, he gonna go home too. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll drop y'all off. So I end up dropping him off. Enemy getting the front seat. I'm like, all right, where your homeboy at? Like, where he at? So he like, okay, yeah, he cool. Like, he cool. His girl gonna be there. She real cool too. Like, y'all bond or whatever. So we talking or whatever, and he was just like, what's up with that dude? Like, that dude, like, he seemed weird. Not talking about like my cousin, but the other boy. So I'm like, I don't even know him. Like, I don't know who he is. He's like, yeah, he weird. Like, he just kept calling your name. He was so weird. It's like, even when you would leave, he'd just be like, how you know Mo? Like, and I'm just like, oh, like, I don't know him. Like, I don't know him. So he like, I don't know, I think that's weird. Like, why he keep calling you and all this other stuff and ask me how I know you? So I'm like, I don't know him. He's like, yeah, that nigga is a fucking junkie. He asking me where could he get some cola from? The nerve. Oh yeah. Oh, never mind. So yeah, so the nerve. I'm like, the nerve of him. So I'm like, oh well. I'm like, well, next time can you not talk about that in front of people? Like, can you not? He gonna say, why? Like, you ashamed of me? So I'm like, I'm not ashamed of you, but it's not something that you should be proud about doing. So he like, you know, cola is a rich nigga drug. That's a rich man. That's the white man's drug. Like, it's a rich drug. Like, niggas that ain't got money can't touch this. I'm like, oh, I don't care how much it costs. It's still like, no offense to anybody that's out there playing with that booger sugar, but like, I just can't get with it. Like, you know, so I'm just like, I ain't never tried it. I ain't gonna try it. I'm just like, no, but like, you don't need to tell everybody. Like, you don't need to tell everybody this. Like, this is not something you just need to talk about. So he like, man, whatever. Like, you be mad about stupid shit. Like, you really be mad about dumb shit. So I'm like, I'm not mad about dumb shit, but you over here telling my whole family about how you just be playing with your nose. Like, what is you talking about? So anyway, we end up going to go pick up his homeboy. We pull up to this place and it looks so weird. So I'm like, I thought you said we was picking him up from his house. So he like, nah, we not. We picking him up from where he's staying at, so technically this would be his house. So I'm like, what is this though? Like, he's staying at a homeless shelter or something? Like, what is this? Like, it looked like it was just a weird looking place. So next thing you know, a ninja running up from behind the car. So I'm getting scared, y'all. I'm paranoid, and I pay attention to my surroundings. And like I said, even though we in front of like this little facility, I don't never put my car in park. Like, if I'm picking somebody up and they come to the car, I'm gonna just sit on the brakes. Like, I'm not putting my car in park because I need to be able to pull off. So I'm looking in my mirror while we talking and stuff like that. He like, dang, where this nigga at? So we in front of the front door, right? So I'm sitting there like looking at my mirrors, and I see somebody running up on the car. I see a nigga with dreads running up on the car. Y'all, I got so scared, I start pulling off. I'm pulling off. So the nigga start chasing the car while I'm driving. I'm like, enemy, I'm not your... He like, Symone, stop the car, go back. And the nigga, he at the corner like this, like... So I'm like, what? No, I'm like, that man right there is somebody behind the car. He chasing the car. Some nigga with dress, he chasing the car. So he like, man, Symone, go back. That's the homie. So I'm like, why is he creeping up through the back when we in front of the front door? He like, man, just go back. So I bust a U-turn, and the boy, he like this, like he ducking from the lights. I said, I don't think that's your friend. He like, that's him. Like, man, you acting like you been sniffing some shit today. The fuck? Bitch. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Now it's not funny no more because you playing too much. So I'm like, he doing weird shit though. Like, I'm like, why is he doing that? So he ended up getting in the car. He like, man, what the fuck? Why the fuck y'all pull off? What the fuck is you doing? You trying to get me caught? And I'm just thinking like, I ain't saying that because you ain't talking to me. You ain't forcing me to hopping in my car, cussing me out. That's not what you doing. So I ain't say shit. Enemy was like, man, bro, she didn't know it was you. She like, he laughing. He's like, she didn't know it was you. He's like, and why the fuck y'all pull up to the front door? Damn. He's like, y'all know if y'all get me caught, if I get caught, then you gonna get in trouble too for I forgot what he said. So I'm like, get you caught from what? Like, what is this? So he was like, I'm in a halfway house. You got me breaking your homeboy out of curfew at the halfway house? Nigga. So he like, I'm in a halfway house. He was like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be out. If I get caught, he's like, I could go back to jail. He's like, and you'll get in trouble too because technically you helped me escape or some shit he was saying. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm over here getting scared. He's like, yeah, your license plate probably all on the camera and shit. You got me running down the street. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why you didn't tell me your friend was in a halfway house and we kidnapping him? Like, well, not kidnapping him, but helping him escape. And he like, nah, you gonna drop it back off. Like, he not escaping. He do this shit all the time. Like, we always do this. So I'm like, you always do this. He like, yeah, we always do this. So I'm like, with who? Because this is my first time doing this and you ain't got no car. So who you always do this with? So he just laughing, they laughing. So he like, this your girl? This your girl? This your girl? And he like, yeah, that's my girl. He like, oh, okay, yeah, you said she do it. He asking a lot of questions. Bitch, no, you don't tell people about me and say I ask a lot of questions. So I'm like, he said I ask a lot of questions. He's like, yeah, he said you be asking too many questions. Like, you be just worried too much. Like, you ain't got to be paranoid around me. Because I got you. I was in jail for a reason. I'm just like, y'all, no, he don't. So anyway, we driving. We finally pull up to this house. So we pull up to this house, and it's like people outside hanging outside. It's like a little music going on, and this girl walk up to the gate, and she just like leaning on the gate like the little fence, and she just smiling. So he hop out the car, and he was like, oh, there go my baby. He hop out the car, he go hug her. So I'm like, oh, that's his girlfriend. Like, we dropping him off, we leaving. He gonna find another way back to his halfway house. So he like, nah, we gonna kick it here for a little bit. So at this point, I'm kind of irritated because I'm like, he talking about my places on the thing. I already owe a lot of tickets. My license is on the verge of being suspended at this time. Like, I don't got time for me to be in no type of more trouble because I'm helping somebody escape. So he like, nah, it's cool. So we end up going in the house, y'all. The girl introduced herself. She like, hi, I'm such and such. She don't need no name. So I'm like, hey girl. She like, yeah, what's up? Like, oh, what y'all was doing? So I'm like, oh, nothing. Like, we went fishing today and all this stuff. She like, okay. So anyway, like, she just seemed like, girl, I don't give a fuck about you and your damn fish. Like, that's really how the okay she gave me. Like, girl, you asked me what I was doing. So anyway, we end up sitting down. We sitting down on the couch, and oh boy's like kind of fidgety. Like, he like fidgety, and he looking at enemy. He like, you ready? So he was like, yeah, I'm ready. So he asked her. He was like, it's good, like, we could go. So she was like, yeah, y'all could go ahead, I'm good, I already went. So they got up, and he's like, I'll be right back. He came and gave me a kiss. He's like, I'll be right back. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she like, yeah, girl, like, you good? You don't want to go? So I'm like, I don't know where they going. Like, I'm cool, I guess. I don't know where they going. So she like, oh, okay. All right. You want something to drink? So I'm like, no, I don't want nothing to drink. Like, I'm good or whatever. Y'all, I don't know why I would do that. My mouth would be dry as hell, and people be asking me if I want something to drink, and I'll say no. But the second time they ask, I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure. But anyway, so I'm like, nah, I'm good. So then we sitting there, we talking. So she like, oh, okay, how long, like, she asked me how long have I known them and all this other stuff. So I'm like, well, I just met the criminal tonight, and I've been knowing enemy, like, that's my man, and we've been in it for probably like 3 months now or something like that. Probably like 2 months. Probably just like 2, honestly. It probably was like 2. So she like, oh, okay, that's cool, like, that's real cool or whatever. She's like, yeah, I know they happy, like, he about to have a good time up in there. She's like, oh, so what, like, what all do you do? So I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, what all do you do? Like, what's your choice of drug? Y'all. So I'm like, oh, I don't have a choice of drugs. So she's like, oh, so you be down to do whatever? Like, that's what's up. I said, no, not like that. Like, I'm like, I just drink from time to time. Like, I'll drink or whatever, but that's about it. So she's like, oh, that's it? Like, you just drink? So I'm like, yeah, I just be drinking. She's like, oh, okay, that's why you didn't want to go in there with them. So I'm like, I don't know where they're going. Again, I literally said this. I'm like, what did they go in there to go do? Because now I'm like, really like, hold up. For one, he said we were just gonna kick it with him and his girlfriend. This is a house full of people. So I'm like, what they going to, everybody was doing their own thing, and it wasn't like pack, but it was like a few handful of people or whatever. So I'm like, what they go in there to go do? So she was like, baby, if you don't do nothing but drink, you don't even want to know. So I'm like, I do want to know. She's like, why, you want to try something tonight? I'm like, I don't want to try nothing, but I want to know. So she's like, well, just ask him, because, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they in there doing. Like, it's a lot of things they could be in there doing, but just ask him when he come back. So I was kind of annoyed with her because I'm thinking, like, what was your reason? So I'm on my phone. I'm just on my phone. We talking about Instagram. Now we talking about a whole bunch of just random ass shit because, yeah, it was like a real change the subject type of thing because she was really, like, what was your point? So he ended up coming back out. They come back out, and enemy is like, he's trying to focus. Like, it really was like he was trying to focus on me. And mind y'all, he did not drink alcohol. Did he drink alcohol? If he did, it would probably be like random as fuck, but he didn't. He did everything else though. So he came back out. It's like he was trying to focus on me. Oh boy came back out, and he just like got on her. Like, y'all, when I say the old boy came back out and got on the couch and got on oh girl, like, they just start kissing. Like, they just start going in, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So enemy, like, he's walking slow, like he trying to focus, and he came over there to me. So he was like, you good? Like, you good or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You good? He like, yeah. I'm like, so what was y'all doing up in there? And he was like, nothing. Like, we wasn't doing nothing. And he just laughing. And I'm like, well, why'd you go in there for a long time if y'all wasn't doing nothing? Like, what was y'all doing? He was like, man, them bitches in there, they not worried about me. Like, I wasn't worried about them. We wasn't talking to them. We was doing our own thing. It's a lot of people in there. So I'm like, I'm not worried about no females, because I highly doubt you brought me to some type of, like, bathhouse type of situation. Like, and you just went in the room and got your rocks off or something. So I'm like, but, like, what was y'all doing in there? So, oh boy, like he just, I guess, stopped kissing his girl and was like, dang, here she go with the questions. Here she go with the questions. He was like, man, we was up in there. You want to know what we was doing in there? So he like, nah, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. He just laughing. He like, you want to know? So she just laughing. She like, she want to know because she was asking me, but I told her to ask you. So he laughing. He was like, you really want to know? You don't want to know. You don't want to know what was going on in there. You don't want to know. It was more than the 80s. And I said, CRACK. And I was like, what? He was like, nah, for real, but nah, we was having a time up in there. Like, you want to go up in there? He's like, enemy, she probably gotta do it. And he like, man, nah, don't play like that. Nah, she ain't doing that shit. And he would get real defensive if somebody tried to tell him to tell me to do something. But man, but it's like, but you could do it all. He probably, because he knew, like, man, this is not a life you want to start getting a part of. But even though I wouldn't have I'm not easily influenced. It would come down to that. Like drugs and stuff like that, because I always just think like, dang, what if I be in front of a liquor store and I be sitting there thinking in my head like, dang, I want to go back normal and I can't. I don't know. I just when it come down to I'm not easily influenced, period. Why do I just say that? Well, I used to kind of be easily influenced when it came down to doing stuff I didn't want to do, like going places or being around people. But like drugs, nah, probably drinking too. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so he getting mad at old boy. He like, nah, man, what the fuck? Like, don't say that. Nah, she don't need to go up in there. She don't need to know what's going on. Like, nah, hell no, it's a grown man drug. She don't need to do none of that shit. So he like, man, I'm just saying that I'd probably get her ass and stop asking questions. So the girl just laughing. They laughing. I'm just sitting there like, well, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to leave. So he like, y'all ready to leave? Like, nah, I just got here. Like, I didn't sneak out for this. I didn't sneak out to leave this early. So I'm like, well, enemy, tell your friend he need to find a new ride. Because, like, at this point, I don't even want to talk to him. So I'm like, tell your friend he got to find another ride because I'm ready to go. Like, I'm irritated. I'm just ready to leave. So he like, why are you ready to leave? And I'm like, because I'm just ready to leave. So y'all, his homeboy still is like trying to butt into our conversation. But mind y'all, it's like we talking, but he talking, but we not paying him no attention. So I was like, can I talk to you outside? Because it's kind of hard for me to talk when it's somebody trying to talk, but I'm trying to ignore them. So it's like, can I talk to you outside? So we end up going outside, and he asked me like, why do you want to leave? Like, you good, Moni? He like, you good? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good or whatever. But I'm just ready to go because I'm ready to go because I just want to leave. Like, I'm not feeling this. And he was like, why am I? Because, y'all, I start getting teary-eyed. Oh, my God, I used to hate that about me. I still cry, but it don't be as much, though. Yeah, but I'm getting teary-eyed and I'm just like, I took you fishing today. I'm like, I took you fishing and I thought that was gonna help you and all this other stuff. So I'm like, I thought fishing was gonna help you and all that other stuff. Like, I'm just like getting teary-eyed, and he like, stop crying. He wiping my tears away. He like, stop crying. What are you crying for? Like, I enjoyed myself. We had a good time. He was like, that, like nobody ever did that for me before. Like, nobody actually took the time out to listen to stuff that I actually like and do something for me. Like, I love you for that. I'm gonna always love you for that. I got you forever. I'm like, but why are you doing drugs? Like, I'm crying. I'm like, why are you still getting high? And he's like, it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to just shake it. He's like, just because you took me fishing don't mean I'm gonna be sober. I was like, then I wouldn't have took you fishing. Y'all, I'm over here crying. And he's like, Symone, one step at a time. But I'm like, if that's the case, then why are you over here getting high? Like, you was just happy. Like, what made you say, I'm happy, let me go do some drugs? Like, I was just so sad. And he was just like, look, we could leave. If you want to leave, we could leave. All right, like, we could leave. So I'm like, all right, we could leave. He's like, okay, but let's just stay a little longer because he snuck out and he don't want to leave right now. And I'm like, if you make me stay here, I'm gonna leave you. I'm like, I'm gonna leave. Like, I'm literally gonna get in my car and leave, and y'all gotta find your own way back to sneak him in. And yeah, I'm just gonna go. So he was just like, you for real? Like, you for real? And I was like, yeah, and I'm not gonna talk to you no more. I'm like, because I can't do this shit. I used to always say how I couldn't do this shit, but still did that shit. So I'm like, I can't do this shit. Like, I can't keep doing this. This is embarrassing. Like, it's too much. And you don't understand and all this. And I've seen people on drugs growing up, and I'm just saying all this shit. So he was like, you know what? If you want to leave, we can leave. Let's leave. All right, fuck it. Let's leave. So we start walking towards the car. I'm like, aren't you going to tell your friend we leaving? So he like, nah, man, fuck that nigga. I ain't going to say shit. Come on, let's go. You want to leave? Let's just leave. So we left. I didn't care. So I ain't going to ask you twice. So, yeah, we left or whatever. And we got to my house. Y'all, I don't know, because we was at home for a cool minute. That nigga started blowing his phone up. Like, he blowing enemy up. And he was like, I'm just not going to answer it. I'm just not gonna talk to him. I'll talk to him tomorrow. I'll tell him I got high and I went to sleep or whatever. So we at my house like next morning, y'all, right? My homegirl hit me up and she was like, are you by yourself? So I'm like, no, enemy here, but I'm about to actually take him home. Cause y'all, it's not like he would spend the whole day at my house or nothing like that until the time when he was staying there low key. But like, he wouldn't stay the day there. Like, if he spent the night, it'll be like, all right, get up in the morning, I'm about to take you home. And which didn't make sense now that I think about it. Sometimes I'll drop him off at home and come back home and get ready and then go back to spend the whole day with him, which made no fucking sense. But sometimes I'll get ready at home and then we'll go to his house, he'll get ready, and then we'll do the whole day. Because we spent too much time together. That shit was draining. Too much. You don't want to be with somebody you spend so much time with. Even though we spent so much time together, he still found ways to cheat on me whenever he wasn't around me. But we spent literally too much time together. Shit was fucking weird. But anyway, anyway. So yeah, I'm like, no, I'm with enemy right now, but I'm about to take him home. So when I'm like, she's like, all right, call me. Make sure you call me when you take him home or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I ended up taking him home. Right when he got out the car, I called her. And I'm like, girl, like, what's up? So she was just like, yeah, yesterday was cool, right? Like, we had fun. I'm like, yeah, it was fun. She was like, yeah, we got to do that again. I'm like, yeah. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, I know you did not call me for this shit. Like, what is you finna say? So she was like, girl, I don't know if you noticed or not, but he was sniffing stuff in your back seat. And I said, what? She was like, yeah, girl, like right before we pulled up. She was like, remember when he told you to turn the music up? She was like, yeah, he was back there like sniffing, like. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. So I start sitting there thinking about it, like, that's why he told me to turn the music up, so I wouldn't hear him doing, so I wouldn't hear that. So I wouldn't hear it and be like, and jam on brakes, because y'all, I was good for that. I was good for jamming on brakes because I knew a mother didn't have a seatbelt on, jamming on brakes so they could be like, damn. And I'd be like, my bad. Y'all, so I'm like, he didn't want me to jam on brakes and he hit his head on the back of my seat. Because I would have did it. If I would have heard that sniffing noise, I swear I would have jammed on brakes hard for him to hit his head on the back of my seat. Because not like that, y'all, but like that, because it would have been like, what is you doing? So I was so mad. Like, I was so mad. When I say I sent that boy a paragraph text message telling him, like, what the fuck? Like, I took you to go do this shit. You saying it's one day at a time, but then you go do some more. Like, I was hot like fire, like hot. I was so hot, y'all, because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this bitch. And it's so embarrassing because, mind y'all, like, my homegirl knew what was up with him, but I would tell her, like, yeah, he getting better, like, it's like this. I didn't tell her I was taking him fishing so he could, you know, help with his addiction or whatever, but I made it seem like, you know, he had it under control. But it was just like, damn, you getting so bold with this shit. It's embarrassing. Like, it's so bold. Like, at first I tell y'all, I did not know what was up with him. And it didn't make sense because he would be sipping lean, and I used to be around boys that sip lean. Now you can pay me to talk to a man who sip lean, that's out. But like, I would just be like, why this man never go to sleep? Just to really be sitting there thinking like, why he never went to sleep. But I didn't put two and two together because, like I said, I had never dealt with anybody who was doing that shit, so I didn't know like, oh, this nigga's doing uppers and downers, so he just mid, like he just in the middle. He ain't tired, he ain't too up, but he just there. I don't know, it was just annoying, y'all. Like, ugh. But yeah, I had sent him a message talking about how I was gonna leave him and all type of shit, and it was bad, y'all. Like, it was so bad. And it's crazy because after that, oh no, that's going into a whole nother story time, and I'm not even gonna mention it. I'm not gonna mention it because, yeah, I'm not. But I'll tell the story though, but I'm just not gonna mention it right here. But yeah, it was bad. Like, I had sent him a message because I was mad, because I'm just like, damn, like, you're doing the most. Like, it's really starting to get out of control. Like, it's getting out of hand, and I'm just irritated because I was so embarrassed. Like, damn, for me to tell my friends, like, you know, or hear something like that, but for her to actually see you in the back seat, and then how you plan it, like, turn the music up so you could get high behind my back, literally, because you're sitting behind me in the car. Like, y'all, I'm just gonna tell you this now, just a little PSA, public service announcement. If you are dealing with someone, if you are a loved one, if dealing with someone, no, I'm just kidding, but no, for real, if you're dealing with somebody and they heavy on drugs, I don't care. I know it's hard. You love somebody and you don't want to walk away at their lowest point or when they like this. You cannot save them. I promise you. No amount of love that you have for them or you think that they got for you, you cannot save that person. You could try, but love that motherfucker from a distance, because at the end of the day, you're only going to hurt yourself. Time after time, and it's gonna hurt you even more, because with addiction, they start stealing, they start doing whatever to get high, and that is where it's gonna go. And you're gonna be so mad because you're like, damn, I'm going out of my way to try to help you get clean, and you are going out of your way to hurt me each time. Like, addiction is crazy. So like, I'm just saying, like, I know it's hard, but if you're dealing with somebody, even like, y'all gotta understand, like with him, like how he was on it, he was very functioning. So it's like a lot of people who didn't know him, they did not know. Like, you wouldn't look on his Instagram and think like, oh, until it start getting bad, because it would be some pictures you'd be like, bro, why the fuck would you post this? But anyway, females from the outside looking in, you cannot tell. You'll look at him and think like, oh, this nigga got money, he doing good for himself, this, that, and the third. Like, you would really think that, like, oh, this big game banging, da 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 da, tats everywhere. Like, you really would think that. But like, when it came down to it and you knew him, it'd be like, wow. So it's like, he was very functioning. So if you're dealing with somebody, you think like, oh no, they got it under control, that shit is not good. And like what I said, I would never deal with somebody that drink lean. It's because it's like, that shit shut down your organs. Like, why would I sit here and watch you take your life away? And I have to sit here and be with you to know that one day you might start having failures, and I have to sit here and go through that shit with you because you decided to slowly kill yourself? No way. Like, if that's what you want to do, then you do that shit on your own. But I mean, teach his own. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be in a relationship with nobody like that. Like, I just wouldn't, because it's like, it's just painful to see when the shit start going downhill. Like, and that's selfish of somebody to put you through that, and you're purposely putting yourself through something that you know in the long term has horrible effects. And it's not even in the long term, because that shit be kind of quick, like, when it comes to that. But like I said, I mean, that's it. But yeah, that's it for this story time, you guys, because I actually got to get ready, y'all, because your girl's about to catch another flight. Apple bottom making wanna fight. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be back before the brunch. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, and don't forget to go ahead and just, you know, I love y'all so much, because like, I wouldn't be here without y'all, and I wouldn't be nowhere without you guys. So let's do our heart thing, and then I'm out of here.